The opinions and views expressed in Political Talk belong to its commentators and are not those of Nexstar Broadcasting Incorporated, this station, or their affiliates or employees.
Welcome to this week's Political Talk with Democratic commentator Dora Leland and Republican commentator Tom Santulli. This week, former President Donald Trump urging Americans to get vaccinated to help curb the COVID-19 pandemic, calling it safe and something that works. The comments come as vaccine hesitancy among Republicans continues to threaten the U.S. path to herd immunity. While 92% of Democrats either have gotten the vaccine or want to get the vaccine, that number plummets to 50% among Republicans, according to a new poll conducted by SSRS. So just how politicized is the COVID vaccine?
It was unfortunate that COVID-19 became a political issue, and it did. It got both sides. I mean, everybody who could get the vaccine out the fastest, the best, who's doing a better job. And I think most Americans are just saying, hey, you know what? Let me out of this year that we've been in. I want life to get better. I was glad that former President Trump finally came out and said, something, you need to get vaccinated. Now, I would tell you this, despite him coming out, I still think there's an element of people who, as we all know in the polling, they don't trust politicians, they don't trust the national media. You're going to have a hard time, I think, getting them to be vaccinated, which really complicates the problem of herd immunity if you can't get to that number. So, we're making progress. And I also, let me say this, I think that President Biden needs to come on and have a press conference and talk about these things and take some questions. We need you to start leading, not hiding, leading. So I put a lot of responsibility on a lot of people, but we're making progress. The vaccine, is becoming a lot more the ability to get the vaccine. So there's a lot of good things going on. We got to keep the momentum going. And the only way to do it is to get people working together. We need to get vaccinated and we need to move on with our lives.
100%. We need to get vaccinated. This is not something our nation has never done before. In the 50s, we had the scourge of polio, and we had to come together as a nation and get people vaccinated. It seems more difficult to do it this time. And I think the main reason it is so difficult is the politicization of it. It's people not trusting. If we're going to get to that 70 or 80% that Tom mentioned, it's going to take bipartisan support of this. It's going to mean that Republicans, not just former President Trump, but it's going to mean Republican officials are going to have to encourage their supporters, their members to be vaccinated. I saw an interesting piece of data today, and it was that 25% of the House of Representatives are not vaccinated. And these are people who have every access to the vaccine. And what's even more shocking about it is nearly all of them are Republicans. We have to once again be the nation that says, how can we support our nation? How can we support each other? And herd immunity means getting vaccinated, not just to protect yourself, but to protect the community, to protect those most vulnerable. And I think we need to get back to that point.
That will do it for this week's edition of Political Talk. For the very latest editions of Political Talk, simply log on to our website, mytwincheers.com. We'll be right back.